Aquarians are often considered the rebels of the Zodiac, visionaries who march to the beat of their own drum. With their progressive outlook on life and unwavering commitment to individuality, they're not easily swayed by societal norms. Aquarians are highly intelligent, independent, and driven by the need to make a positive impact on the world. But while they may seem carefree and detached, there's a lot more to an Aquarius than meets the eye. When you hurt them, the consequences can be profound, and you may find that regaining their trust is no small feat. In this video, we'll explore 12 reasons why you should never hurt an Aquarius. From their need for freedom and authenticity to their deep intellectual curiosity, Aquarians are not to be underestimated. So, if you've ever wondered what happens when you cross a water bearer, stick around. We'll break down why hurting an Aquarius can lead to long-lasting emotional consequences, and why it's crucial to treat them with the respect they deserve. 1. They value their independence above all else. Aquarians place a high premium on their independence. For them, freedom isn't just a preference, it's a way of life. They need space to think, create, and explore the world without feeling constrained. This sign thrives when given the liberty to do things their own way, without interference or excessive control. Whether it's in their personal life, career, or relationships, Aquarians fiercely protect their autonomy. They don't like being tied down, and any attempt to restrict their freedom can feel like an emotional prison. When you hurt an Aquarius, you're not only disrupting their emotions but also threatening their sense of independence. If they feel that their freedom is being restricted, especially in an emotional context, they will quickly pull back. They don't want to be in relationships or situations where they feel suffocated. For an Aquarius, emotional freedom is just as important as physical freedom, and if you try to impose limitations on them, they will distance themselves. They value their individuality above all else and will not hesitate to walk away if they feel their autonomy is at risk. 2. They have a deep need for authenticity. Aquarians thrive on authenticity. They don't just appreciate realness, they demand it. Whether it's in friendships, romantic relationships, or even professional environments, they need people who are genuine and true to themselves. For Aquarians, shallow conversations and fake personas are draining. They prefer deep, meaningful exchanges that challenge their perspectives and help them grow. They expect honesty, transparency, and vulnerability in their relationships, and they're not afraid to cut ties with anyone who isn't authentic. If you hurt an Aquarius by being deceitful or disingenuous, the consequences can be severe. They will not tolerate lies or dishonesty, and once their trust is broken, it can be incredibly difficult to rebuild. An Aquarius has a sharp intuition and can easily sense when someone is being fake. They don't appreciate people who try to hide their true selves, and if they feel betrayed by someone they trusted, they will shut them out without hesitation. For an Aquarius, authenticity isn't just a preference, it's a non-negotiable part of any meaningful relationship. 3. They are highly intellectual and need mental stimulation. Aquarians are thinkers, and they thrive on intellectual stimulation. They are constantly exploring new ideas, diving deep into philosophical debates, and looking for innovative solutions to complex problems. Their minds are always working, always analyzing, always seeking to understand the world in new ways. This intellectual curiosity is what drives them forward in life, and it's a core part of their identity. When you hurt an Aquarius, especially in a way that challenges their intellect or ability to think freely, it can cause deep frustration. They don't just want someone to agree with them, they need someone who can keep up with their ideas and engage in thoughtful, meaningful conversations. If you dismiss their opinions, belittle their ideas, or refuse to engage with them on an intellectual level, they will begin to lose interest in the relationship. Aquarians value mental stimulation more than anything, and if they feel that their thoughts and ideas aren't being respected, they will disconnect. Their need for intellectual connection is not something they'll easily overlook, and once they feel stifled mentally, they will begin to pull away. 4. They are unconventional and don't like being constrained. Aquarians are the true free spirits of the Zodiac. They are unapologetically unconventional, often embracing ideas and lifestyles that go against the grain of societal norms. Whether it's through their unique sense of style, their offbeat sense of humor, or their progressive ideas, Aquarians are naturally inclined to forge their own path. They don't like being boxed in by tradition or expectations and will always seek ways to break free from any kind of constraint. When you hurt an Aquarius, it's not just about breaking their heart, it's about limiting their freedom. They'll feel as though they are being forced into a mold they don't fit into, and this emotional confinement will trigger an immediate reaction. They need space to be themselves and explore life on their own terms. If you try to control them or impose restrictions on them, they will quickly retreat, often without a second thought. Aquarians are fiercely independent, and they will not stay in situations where they feel stifled or restricted. Once their sense of autonomy is threatened, you'll see them detach and pull away, as their need to remain true to themselves will always come first. 5. They are loyal, but only to those who earn it. Aquarians are fiercely loyal, but their loyalty isn't given out easily. Unlike other signs who might open their hearts quickly, Aquarians are more guarded, and they take time to truly trust someone. They value deep connections and prefer relationships where trust is built over time, not rushed. Once an Aquarius decides to dedicate themselves to someone, they are unwavering in their support and will stand by that person through thick and thin. However, their loyalty must be earned. If you betray an Aquarius or take their loyalty for granted, they will become distant and guarded. They don't hand out their loyalty lightly, and if you break that trust, you can expect them to distance themselves permanently. An Aquarius won't waste time on relationships that don't bring value, and they won't hesitate to cut off people who fail to honor the bond they've created. Their loyalty is precious, and when you hurt them, you risk losing a friend, partner, or confidant who would have gone to great lengths for you. 6. They are not afraid to cut people off. When it comes to protecting their peace, Aquarians don't hesitate to cut ties with people who bring negativity or toxicity into their lives. While they are generous with their time and energy when they care about someone, they have little patience for individuals who drain their emotional reserves. If you hurt an Aquarius, especially by betraying their trust or failing to meet their standards of authenticity, they will not think twice about severing the relationship. Aquarians value their mental and emotional well-being, and they are quick to recognize when someone is causing harm. They won't stick around in unhealthy relationships or situations, and once they decide that someone is no longer worth their time, they will let go, without hesitation. There's no dramatic confrontation, no drawn-out process. They simply make the decision to walk away, often without explanation. If you've hurt an Aquarius, don't expect them to come to you to mend the relationship. They will make the choice to cut ties and move on, taking care of themselves and their peace. 7. They can be detached when hurt. Aquarians are known for their ability to detach emotionally, especially when they've been hurt. While they are capable of deep emotions, they have a natural inclination to distance themselves when those emotions become too overwhelming. When they are hurt, they don't always express their pain outwardly. Instead, they may retreat into themselves, using their intellectual side to process the situation without letting anyone see their vulnerability. This detachment is their way of protecting themselves. Rather than confronting their feelings directly, Aquarians will often withdraw, taking the time they need to heal on their own. If you hurt them, they won't come to you seeking comfort or resolution. Instead, they'll turn inward, finding ways to move on without involving others. For some, this may seem like they don't care or aren't affected, but the truth is, they simply don't want to show their hurt. They prefer to work through their emotions privately, and once they've emotionally detached, it can be very difficult to re-enter their emotional world. If you've hurt an Aquarius, don't expect them to make the first move. Until they've healed and processed everything, they'll keep their distance. 8. They value friendships just as much as romantic relationships. Aquarians have a unique approach to relationships. While they value romantic connections, their friendships hold equal importance in their lives. For them, a deep, meaningful friendship is just as vital as any romantic bond. They are not the type to divide people into categories of best friends and casual acquaintances. Instead, they treat their closest friends with the same level of care, respect, and loyalty they would show a partner. When you hurt an Aquarius, whether in a romantic or platonic relationship, you risk damaging an equally important part of their life. If you betray their trust in a friendship, don't be surprised if they pull away emotionally, just as they would in a romantic context. An Aquarius values loyalty, honesty, and mutual respect in all their relationships, and any breach of that trust can result in them distancing themselves. They are likely to cut ties with anyone who doesn't value the connection in the same way. For an Aquarius, a strong friendship can often be just as fulfilling and meaningful as love itself, and they'll protect these bonds fiercely. 9. They seek intellectual freedom and don't like being told what to do. Aquarians are free thinkers, and one of the most important aspects of their identity is their intellectual freedom. They are driven by a constant desire to explore new ideas, challenge conventional wisdom, and form their own opinions about the world. For them, the ability to think freely and independently is essential to their happiness. Whether it's in conversations, decision-making, or life choices, Aquarians reject any form of control or limitation on their thoughts. They need to feel mentally liberated, and if they sense that someone is trying to impose restrictions on their thinking, they will resist with all their might. If you hurt an Aquarius by trying to control or manipulate their intellectual freedom, they will react strongly. They don't like being told what to do, especially when it comes to matters of the mind. An Aquarius needs to be able to make their own choices and follow their curiosity without being restricted. If you challenge their independence or intellectual integrity, they will distance themselves from you. For them, their thoughts are sacred, and anyone who tries to undermine their autonomy will find themselves shut out of their emotional and intellectual world. 10. They can be emotionally unpredictable. Aquarians may be known for their logical and analytical thinking, but they are just as emotionally complex. While they don't always show their feelings openly, their emotions can be deeply intense. However, the way they process and express those emotions is anything but predictable. Sometimes, an Aquarius might appear emotionally detached, focusing instead on intellectual pursuits or abstract ideas. Other times, they may reveal a side of themselves that is unexpectedly emotional, which can catch those around them off guard. When hurt, an Aquarius can react in ways that are difficult to anticipate. They may suddenly retreat into their thoughts, or they could surprise you with a more emotional outburst than you'd expect. Their emotional unpredictability is tied to their unique way of navigating their feelings. Sometimes they need time to process everything logically before they let themselves truly feel. This unpredictability can make it difficult to know how to comfort them, especially when they're hurt. It's important to give an Aquarius space to work through their emotions at their own pace, without pressure, as their emotional landscape can shift unexpectedly. 11. They are often ahead of their time. Aquarians are known for being visionaries. Their minds are constantly looking toward the future, and they have an innate ability to think beyond the present moment. They are often ahead of their time, dreaming of possibilities that others might not even consider. This forward-thinking approach to life makes them naturally innovative, and they thrive in environments that encourage new ideas, technology, and progress. They are often drawn to causes that promote change and social improvement, always striving to make the world a better place. When you hurt an Aquarius, you're not just affecting their emotions, you're also challenging their ability to keep moving forward. Aquarians are driven by a need to constantly evolve, whether through their intellectual pursuits, their relationships, or their personal growth. If you disrupt that forward momentum by causing them emotional pain, they might find it difficult to stay in a stagnant situation. For an Aquarius, it's all about progress. If they feel stuck or held back by someone who doesn't align with their vision, they will choose to move on. They are always looking toward what's next, and anyone who tries to hold them back will find themselves left behind. 12. They are extremely loyal to their causes. Aquarians are deeply passionate about the causes they believe in. Whether it's social justice, environmental activism, or any other form of advocacy, they devote themselves wholeheartedly to the things that resonate with their values. They are driven by the desire to make a positive impact on the world, often seeing the bigger picture and working tirelessly toward change. For an Aquarius, their cause isn't just a hobby, it's a calling. This loyalty to their causes is a reflection of their core values and their relentless belief in progress. When you hurt an Aquarius, especially in a context where their beliefs or values are involved, they will feel deeply wounded. Their commitment to their causes is an extension of who they are, and if you undermine or betray that commitment, you are directly challenging their identity. Aquarians are not the type to compromise on their core beliefs, and once you've shown that you don't respect what matters most to them, they will likely sever ties without hesitation. Their loyalty to their causes is unshakable, and if you try to diminish that, you risk not only losing their trust but also any hope of continuing a meaningful connection with them. In conclusion, Aquarians are complex, independent, and fiercely loyal individuals. Their loyalty is reserved for those who respect their need for freedom, authenticity, and intellectual connection. If you hurt an Aquarius, you're not just damaging a relationship, you're challenging their very sense of self. Whether it's through their deep need for independence, their intellectual curiosity, or their dedication to their causes, Aquarians demand respect and honesty in all aspects of life. When betrayed, they will withdraw into themselves, often cutting ties without looking back, as they place their values, beliefs, and personal peace above everything else. Aquarians may seem distant at times, but that's just a reflection of their unique, thoughtful nature. They invest deeply in those who prove they share similar values and respect their autonomy. To hurt an Aquarius is to lose someone who will always fight for the truth and for progress, someone whose loyalty is as strong as their sense of independence. If you value an Aquarius in your life, treat them with the respect they deserve. Understand their need for space, their intellectual depth, and their dedication to the causes they hold dear. Only then will you experience the full power of their unwavering loyalty. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more insights into the world of astrology. Let us know in the comments how Aquarians have impacted your life. We'd love to hear your stories and thoughts.